Hey Bulldogs, let's take a look at what's happening this week on Code Blue Now. First, Madison highlights Holbrook's community service dog. And finally, Carmen tells us the impact Dove left on our students this past week. Now please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Hey Bulldogs, I'm Johan Rodriguez Vieira here with Jordan Chaffee, and welcome back to another episode of Code Blue Now.
What's up, Bulldogs? We've reached the 20th episode of Code Blue, and we're only halfway into the year.
But hey, to quote Kobe Bryant, the job's not finished. But let's get things rolling, Jordan.
Attention all seniors, exciting news! There will be a yearbook meeting on Monday, February 12th, right after school in Ms. Gallagher's room. We will be discussing important dates and deciding senior superlatives. We need your input.
Also, seniors, there will be a senior privilege activity next Friday on the half day. However, in order to participate, you need to have your class dues fully paid, not be socially suspended, and be in good academic standing.
What's that activity, though?
I think it was something to do with decorating cookies.
Oh, my sweet tooth's gonna be kicking in. You already know what color I'm gonna be making my cookie. My favorite color.
I think it's definitely gonna be blue.
You're right about that, Johan. Blue is such an amazing color. Just seeing it gets me so happy.
But Blue isn't just a color. He's also our school's community resource dog, too.
Let's see exactly how much of an impact Blue has done on not only our school, but as well as our students.
The diversity at HMHS is unmatched. Students with ethnicities from all over the world can come together at one school. But there's just one member of a community that's different from the rest. Blue the dog.
Everyone loves Blue. I think he's a fan favorite. When I'm going through the schools, they ask where Blue is all the time.
Blue is a 2.5-year-old English cream golden retriever community resource dog. Officer Glover received Blue through a grant through the Norfolk County's DA office.
Blue can meet with kids who are in crisis, help them out. We do visits in classrooms, a lot in the JFK side. So it helps us be more active in the schools.
So I think dogs in general are just really good therapy for a lot of people because, they're always there for you, they're always loving, they're kind of just like an automatic positive factor into the environment.
Blue not only connects officers to students, but is also a great comfort to the students as well.
Whenever someone's having a bad day and can't focus, Blue always makes them have a smile on their face so then they can have a better day.
He makes our school better by visiting classrooms and giving kids a break just to pet him.
If you're upset, he'll find you out in a room. So I can go bring him into a room with people. If someone's upset, he actually will be able to find that person and walk over to them.
Having a therapy dog in school is great because it's just an extra way for kids to kind of have an outlet for their feelings.
Blue is a great addition to the school, and if you see Officer Glover in the hallway in the upcoming weeks, be sure to ask him for a blue card. For Code Blue News, this has been Madison Burnett reporting.
Blue sure has a way of bringing me a smile.
I couldn't agree more, Jordan.
He just makes me want to snuggle up and have a nice cup of hot chocolate.
Well, you're going to be glad to hear that the junior class will be selling just that next week in the cafeteria. It'll be sold before school from Tuesday to Friday after announcements. But a cup will be $2.
You already know I'm going to be tapping in with that, but isn't Valentine's Day also coming up next week?
Yeah, I still got to think about what to get.
Well, something you or anyone else can get at the school are some candy grams, which will be sold at lunch today and next Monday. See a member of the class of 2026 to purchase one.
Can't go wrong with candy, huh?
I can never disagree with that, Johan. It can easily win me over. But if I bought one for Chuck, do you think he'd love it?
Well, I mean, you guys are always together, so I don't see why not.
You're right, Johan. Our relationship really has its ups and downs.
Well, I mean, every relationship is like that. And that's exactly what the 8th graders were educated on 2 weeks ago.
Let's step foot into Ms. Gallagher's 8th grade English class for a more in-depth look.
Valentine's Day being right around the corner, relationships are on the rise and majorly popular amongst the youth. What most people don't understand is that a lot can happen behind the scenes, with harmful behaviors that can range from controlling your partner to domestic violence.
Typically, when you think of an unhealthy relationship, you see first the bad signs of communication, so maybe there's a lot of arguing, a lot of bickering.
There's a little more fighting and miscommunication between you and your partner.
In order to educate the entire 8th grade class, Holbrook held their annual presentation with an organization specialized in teaching students all about relationships.
Dove is a local nonprofit organization based in Quincy. We work with individuals who are experiencing issues of abuse or domestic violence, and so we provide services to people not only in the community, but we also provide education and prevention. We believe that everybody deserves a safe and healthy relationship, and that we all have the power to create a world that is free from abuse.
Kelly wasn't alone though, as she invited a few HMHS students who are involved with Dove in order to present to these younger students.
I've been very involved with Dove. I've spent about 2 years talking with Dove, and I've also presented to middle schoolers in my junior year, so it was nothing new to me.
Dove is a program that I think has helped me a lot, and I know now how to deal with unhealthy relationships, how to spot the signs, and how to help my own friends.
So we believe that peers learn the best when they hear from another student. We just know from studies and also the data that teens tend to turn to one another if they are in a situation like this, so an abusive relationship or even an unhealthy one. Students feel a lot more comfortable connecting to one another and to their peers who are close in age. While having adults in the room to give this presentation can be effective in many ways, I think hearing from other students that you see around your building, that these are students who have gone through experiences like this and can talk from their own experiences, I think that can be a lot more powerful.
But with unhealthy relationships being the main topic of the presentation, what should you do in a situation like this?
So whether that looks like encouraging somebody to talk to someone that they trust about what's going on.
Going to a service such as Dove, they provide a 24-hour hotline service that is confidential to anyone and is accessible to everyone.
Communication is key, and talking to each other is always an important factor.
I think giving your friend the room to talk from their own experiences, being non-judgmental, and also being supportive and encouraging can play a huge role in supporting a friend. Ask them, how are things going with your partner? Or, I've noticed this recently. Can you talk more about that? With young students, it can be really hard or tough to kind of think about reaching out to a friend and saying something if you see something. But this attitude of, it's not my relationship, so I shouldn't get involved, is one that we should definitely dismantle.
If you feel something is wrong, be the supportive friend that they need and talk through the situations. Or contact Dove's hotline at 617-471-1234. No one deserves suffering in silence, so make sure to speak out. It's been Carmen Sotlet reporting for Code Blue Now, and back to you in the studio.
Teen dating violence is no joke and should be taken very seriously.
But before we close out the show today, we still have a couple more orders of business to address.
And I heard that there's something big happening today, but before we get into it, Marco is here with the sports report.
Welcome back to the Sports Report. The boys varsity basketball team played Wednesday, putting their record at 12-4. The girls varsity basketball team also playing Wednesday, putting their record at 11-6. Today at 6, the boys varsity basketball team plays at home and hopes to get Gifford his 500 coach career win. Back to you at the desk.
Man, we got some really good basketball this year. Our boys and girls team have taken off.
You could say that again. But I think we have some more students to give recognition to who aren't on the basketball team.
This past weekend, students Adriana Baker, Isabella Castro, and Rolisha St. Jean auditioned for the Semsba Festival. With some exciting news to bring home, all three were entered into the mixed chorus. Congratulations, you three. All your hard work has really paid off.
What an accomplishment, right? Do you think I could get it if I auditioned?
Well, I'd advise you to practice singing before you audition, Johan.
Well, singing isn't really my thing. But if it's yours, HMHS has plenty of opportunities to find new hobbies. Next Tuesday, February 13th, will be the first hometown high school night, and it'll be at 6 p.m.
This event will give us a chance as a town to be reunited and show you and your families why HMHS is the place to be. There, you'll see representatives from different groups around the school, such as DECA, the National Honor Society, and a few clubs who tell you why HMHS is the best school out there.
But in order to get ourselves ready for the big night, we have to cut the show here.
You're so right, Johan. Can't miss the first hometown high school night in Holbrook. Well, that wraps it up for this week. I'm Jordan Chaffee.
And I'm Johan Rodriguez Vieira. We'll see you guys next Friday.